Buying the dip, buying the pullback. What am I talking about when it comes to day trading and buying the dip? I'm going to talk about it in this video, so stay tuned. If you want to learn more about the stock market, you want to learn more about day trading, make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit that bell notification tab if you're a long-time subscriber. Thanks for watching. So I just made a video talking about a stock being overextended, how to trade that, what to look for, and I kind of want to talk about a dip buy, talk about a pullback, and what I'm looking for when I'm buying the dip, and kind of, what's going on there when I'm buying the dip. So on a stock like LBIX this morning, I ended up getting, I feel like, a pretty good dip buy here. And you can see this is the 1 minute chart. This stock pulled back. It jumped up there above $2, up there to the $2.29 area, and then pulled back down to the $2 area. And you can see kind of what's going on here. So this is the 1 minute chart. This is the 9 EMA here, the blue line. This is the 20 down here, the yellow line. So like I said, I'm basically using the EMAs as areas, kind of as a trend indicator. As long as this stock is staying above that 9 EMA, it's in an upward trend. I'm kind of looking, okay, the stock's kind of bouncing the 9 EMA. People are looking to buy there. Other people are looking at that common indicator, the EMA is there, and that's one of the reasons that I use it on the chart. That's the blue line, the yellow line. These are the EMAs, exponential moving averages. And you can see here, the stock jumps up to that 229 area, finds resistance there at the 229 area, kind of right there. 229 gets stuck, gets pulled back. The 9 EMA is down here at the 185 area. So I'm basically looking to get a dip buy here back below $2 and look for that move higher. So I ended up getting filled here at 195. It got down to 185, but it wasn't enough time to get filled there. You can see it jumped back up pretty quick, just got bought up right there, kind of pulling back there, and then buying the dip there, and then looking to take profit as this thing went higher, which it ended up exploding the rest of the day. But you can see kind of how to buy that dip there. So the stock obviously ran up big. It made a big move from the $1.80 area up there to 225 and then pulled back, and that's when I was looking to get in there. I was actually looking to get in there at the break of $2. Did not get filled. So then I'm like, okay, I'm going to wait for a pullback. I'm going to jump in there once I get that dip, and then I'll look for that move higher. So I knew the 9 EMA was there, 180 area. I saw that it bounced off the EMA there. I saw that buying was happening there at the 185 area, and there was buyers stepping up there. So I ended up getting in there at 195, put my order out there, and got filled 195 on the dip. The ask, I think, was at $2, but I got filled there on the dip. So that's what I'm talking about when I'm talking about getting filled on the dip or buying the pullback. So this is a pullback. The trend is still there. The stock's moving higher. The trend is this 9 EMA we're looking at here, and basically looking for the stock to keep heading higher. Obviously, if the stock just starts to crash, say if I get in here at the 195 area and then the next candle breaks through the 9 EMA, that's a bad sign, and the stock could possibly go lower. So it is a little risky to buy here on the dip with the idea that, the next candle could really just keep going lower. But that's why I'm looking for the bottom of this candle. It hit that 185 area. The buyers are stepping up there. I'm watching level 2. I'm seeing that there are buyers there at the 180 area, 190 area. That's a good sign. And I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to buy the dip here. I'm going to jump in and then look for this move higher. Instead of me buying up here at the 225 area, hoping it's going to go higher, seeing that it's overextended here, I see that it's pulling off the 9 EMA there. So the 1 minute chart, it pulled off the 9 EMA. It got really, extended there, and then I'm looking for that pullback for the dip there. So I'm looking to buy the dip, and that's what I did right there. I bought the dip and then sold into this move higher. Sometimes what I like to do when I'm buying a dip here is I'll just go and put an order out there. I see that support, the bottom of this candle was there at the 180 area. So maybe I put an order out there at the 185 area, hoping that we're going to dip down, just kind of putting that order out there before the stock gets there. I'm thinking, hey, the stock is going to pull back. I'm going to put an order out there, see to get filled. And then if I do get filled, I get filled. If I don't, I don't. There's going to be those stocks that, you're going to try to get those dip buys. You're not going to get filled. You're going to be like 1 cent below where the stock went lower. And it's going to be hard sometimes. It's going to have those opportunities kind of missed out on. But then there's going to be those days where you're going to get filled magically at the bottom of this candle. You're not going to get filled there at 185. It would be a beautiful move, and then we get that move higher from there. So you got to be really careful, kind of looking for those support areas. You're not just going to be dip buying anywhere and everywhere. You're going to look for key support areas. That 9 EMA was that support that I was looking for there. Watching the buyers. I want to watch level 2. I want to make sure that those buyers are there. I'm not just trying to be the only buyer sitting there at 185. If I don't see any other buyers there, I'm going to cancel my order. If I don't see the stock really kind of bouncing, and I don't want it to really I don't want it to get stuck. Now, another thing is I don't want to be buying here as the stock is just getting pummeled and getting lower and lower. I see a lot of selling pressure. So I'm looking at level 2. I'm kind of watching. and get an idea like, okay, the stock, it's coming down a little bit, but there's still buying going on. There's still action. It's still kind of popping up, and then pulling back a little bit, but it's still, it's popping up. There's buying pressure going on there. I might not get filled. I might it could be a lucky thing, and maybe I get filled there on a little bit of a dip, but I'm not just trying to, buy into that falling crash of a stock. I'm actually trying to look, kind of get lucky with the dip buy here and kind of look for those key areas of support. So we're not just buying as the stock is crashing. We're looking for those key areas. This stock, the trend was moving higher. I saw the 9 EMA there, that $2 area broke through there, that whole dollar. So I'm thinking whole dollars are going to break. Normally when a whole dollar breaks to go up for the upside, you get that break of like a whole dollar. You'll get a little bit of a pullback, 10, 15 cent pullback, and then you get that move higher. So most of the time, you get those whole dollar breaks, you'll get a little bit of a pullback, and you can jump in on that pullback and then look for that move higher there if you can't get filled on that first initial pop. And there's going to be those days where a stock just explodes through a whole dollar, just goes higher and higher, and you have no chance for a pullback, so you really got to be trading a little differently. But 99% of the time, the stock's going to pull back a little bit and give you that chance to get filled there, 5 cents, 10 cents, a little bit lower than that whole dollar. So that's what I'm kind of looking for when I'm looking for those dip buys, kind of looking for that buying pressure there. I want to make sure there's buyers there. And I'm not just going to be the only buyer waiting there to get filled at 185. I'm watching level 2. That's one of the reasons I always talk about level 2 being so important. You really need to be watching level 2, watching time and sales. Make sure there's buying going on there. If my order's sitting there at 185, I see people are buying still 186, 188. It's kind of bouncing around. I get a quick dip to 185. I get filled. That's a good sign. Now, if it's just at 190 and I see a bunch of sellers, 195 sellers, I see a bunch of sellers at 190, it's going lower and lower. I might cut my order there. It's with the idea that it might go lower for a dip buy, or it might just want to crash. So gonna be very careful not to buy the crash here. We don't want to be the only buyer sitting there. We're gonna be very careful watching all these key indicators, watching those support areas. I saw earlier that this stock bounced off the 180 area, made this move higher. So I'm thinking, okay, maybe we get to 180 area, get a little bit of a bounce. If it doesn't bounce right away, if it gets stuck, if it doesn't want to go higher, I'm going to take profit. And I'm not going to be stubborn there. You can see I took profit pretty fast on this one. It made that move back up to the high of day after getting above that 230 area. It jumped up there to 242, but you can see a lot of selling pressure there. So people taking profit again. People that were loading up here, they didn't like it, so people were taking profit there. You got the shorts piling in there. Later on, it made a move, I think, up to the 380 area. So LBIX all over the place today. Crazy one. But buying the dip sometimes pays off. You got to be careful to not be the only buyer sitting there waiting to get filled in the dip. You want to be kind of like, there's a lot of other buyers here. I'm kind of moving their orders around, kind of buying, kind of selling, but you don't want to be the only guy stuck there and the last one waiting to get filled. So that's kind of my take on the dip buying, kind of the pullback and looking for those support areas. The more and more that you trade, the more you can kind of read level 2 and you can kind of see, okay, it's pulling back here, but there's a lot of buying still going on. The time and sales is looking pretty good. It's not just crashing. It's not just sell, 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 sell. There's a little bit of support as it's going down. It's pulling back. People are still buying though. And that's what I want to look for. I want to look for that trend still holding. I want to look for buyers still being there. I don't want to be the only buyer left.